Many years ago, there lived a young woman named Adaobi who stepped into her new home for the first time as a wife. Adaobi was a gentle woman, beautiful, slim, graceful, with bright, hopeful eyes and a soft voice. She was well-mannered, patient, peaceful, and respectful to a fault. But Adaobi didn't just appear in that home one day. Her love story with Chike started years earlier. They met in church during youth fellowship. Chike was calm, easygoing, tall, and handsome. Chike admired the way Adaobi closed her eyes during worship, singing softly like someone who prayed with her heart. Adaobi noticed how well Chike greeted elders, how kindly he spoke, and how he smiled shyly whenever she walked past. After Bible study, they would sit under the mango tree, sharing dreams, laughter, and future plans. Their friendship turned to love. They promised each other a peaceful home, children running around, and a love that would grow with time. One day, with trembling hands and a small ring, Chike proposed. Adaobi said yes through tears. She loved Chike deeply. Their wedding was joyful. People danced until dust rose from the ground. Mama Chike smiled too, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. She loved her son deeply, sometimes too deeply, and she believed a wife must prove herself through suffering. Respect to her was earned with sweat. Yet, Adaobi walked in with hope, believing she would be welcomed as a daughter. She didn't know life was about to shape her into a woman stronger than she imagined. Chike carried her boxes inside. "Welcome home, my wife," he smiled. Adaobi smiled back shyly, but she didn't know someone inside the house was already waiting with judgment. Mama Chike came out slowly, eyes sharp like torchlight. "So, you finally brought your wife home?" she asked, scanning Adaobi from head to toe. Adaobi greeted respectfully. "Good evening, Mama." Mama hissed, "You are too slim. I hope you have strength for house chores. Marriage is not being so." Adaobi swallowed the words like a bitter leaf. "Yes, Mama, I will try my best." That night, Adaobi spent hours in the kitchen cooking her first meal. She seasoned, tasted, adjusted, wanting to impress. When she served the food, Mama tasted one spoon, paused, and dropped the spoon loudly. "In this house, we don't eat watery stew like this," she announced. Chike protested quietly. "But Mama, it tastes fine. I like it." Mama snapped. "Keep quiet. Let me teach her how to cook well." That night, Adaobi cried quietly on the veranda. Chike held her. "Please, be patient. Mama will adjust," he whispered. But Mama didn't adjust. Whenever visitors came, she would praise other women loudly. "Amara is neat, respectful, well-trained, not like some people are still learning." Everyone heard it. Adaobi only smiled and hid her tears later. One morning, Adaobi was sweeping when Mama walked in. "You sweep like someone without home training," she said. "Bend well. Is your waist paining you?" "Yes, Mama," Adaobi replied softly. Her husband, Chike, traveled often. When problems arose, Adaobi got the blame, always. Still, she endured. Soon, she got pregnant and gave birth to a baby boy. He was named Uche. Adaobi thought a child would soften Mama, but things grew worse. One evening, Uche climbed a chair. Adaobi scolded him gently. Uche, stop! You will fall. Mama rushed in. Don't shout at my grandson. Is your voice inside pepper? I'm only correcting, Adaobi tried to explain. Mama waved her hand. Allow him. Let him be free in his father's house. Adaobi walked away quietly. Later, she cried in Chike's arms. Why does Mama hate me? What have I done? Chike had no answer. Even small disagreements became war. Mama would scream. Is it because of this small issue you want to kill my son? She would call neighbors, relatives, anyone who would listen. Adaobi apologized even when innocent. If she apologized, Mama said it was fake. If she kept quiet, Mama said she was proud. Years passed. Then one day, Mama fell seriously ill. She was taken from one hospital to another. Finally, Mama was admitted to a hospital that could diagnose her illness, and she was given proper treatment. Mama was always placed on drips, and some of the medications that she took weakened her body. At that moment, Chike was busy with work. His sisters lived far away. The only person available to take care of Mama was the same woman she criticized, Adaobi. Adaobi fed her, cleaned her, washed her clothes, massaged her back, prayed and read psalms for her at night. She cared without bitterness in her heart. Even when Mama shouted, Ada, my back hurts, turn me, Adaobi rushed with love. Weeks later, Mama was discharged from the hospital. One evening, after a warm bath, Mama looked at Adaobi with weak eyes. My daughter, she whispered. Adaobi paused, shocked. Mama held her hand lightly. Forgive me. Adaobi blinked. Her heart shook for a few seconds. Mama, there is nothing. No, Mama interrupted, crying. I treated you badly. Yet, you are the one caring for me. You have a good heart. Tears rolled down Mama's cheeks. Adaobi whispered, I forgave you long ago, Mama. From that day, everything changed. When visitors came, Mama proudly said, This is my daughter. If not for her, I don't know if I would be alive today. People were shocked and they muttered, so Mama could finally love her daughter-in-law. Though everyone was happy with the latest development, Mama started defending Adaobi. She would tell Chike, it is not good for your wife to be idle. Establish her in a business. Support her. She is gold. Adaobi felt peace for the first time. Not because Mama became perfect, but because God turned her pain into honor. Mama encouraged Adaobi to learn a skill and start something of her own. Adaobi started selling palm oil. Profit was small at first, but she was diligent. Customers loved her. Others grew. She expanded. She hired staff. One day, Adaobi walked into the living room wearing a beautiful gown she bought herself. Mama smiled proudly. You look like a queen. Chike smiled too. He began to boast. That's my wife. She is doing well." Adaobi's eyes shone like the sunrise. Years later, Mama told her, "My first and second daughters I birthed. My third daughter got sent." Adaobi hugged her, smiling with peace in her heart, and they lived happily, respecting each other, loving better, choosing peace. Because some hearts soften only when love refuses to give up. What part of Adaobi's story touched you most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story inspired you, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your loved ones. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another captivating story. Thank you for watching. Remember, every tale carries a lesson if only we choose to listen. Until I bring another true life tale your way, goodbye and remain blessed.